Hello again. It's me, Janar. I am with you with another video. Guys, today we are gonna talk about an amazing topic. Flying narrow body versus flying wide body. Yeah, I've been getting lots of questions about, flying, being pilot, but specifically all the time you're asking me, I would like to be a pilot on 777. I would like to be a pilot on 320, 330, 350, 737. But guys, do you really know what pros and cons you can have while you're flying narrow body or while flying wide body? Alright, before starting, I will give my quick statistics to you guys. First of all, I flew 2,500-ish hours on 73 and I'm having 2,000 hours on 777 and 2,000 hours getting more and more. That being said, I have around 4,500 hours. Like more or less, I can say it's like a 50-50. So I got some kind of experience of flying narrow body and wide body. So I can talk to you guys my real experiences. And when I was flying narrow body, people do complain about flying narrow body 73 life. Now I came to 777. I've seen some stuff that they're also complaining about 777. Some people complain short flights, some people complain long flights. But what I have learned in my 8-year careers as a pilot, pilots do complain. Yes, they love complaining and they do complain a lot. Today, I'm gonna try to be a fair guy. I'm not gonna involve my emotions towards the narrow body or wide body, right? We are gonna start first narrow body. I'm gonna talk about the advantages and disadvantages of it. Then thereafter, I'll be moving wide body and I will do the same. Pros and cons for wide body flying. All right, let's continue. I'll start with flying narrow body. The advantages of flying narrow body airplane is pretty straightforward, guys. This is basically first thing, you start and build a career there. This is the first stop in your career if you want to be a pilot. Hopefully after finishing your flight training, you can get a seat on the right seat of your narrow body airplane. It can be a regional airplane, it can be a 73, 320, whatever it is. But you are gonna start in your career on the right seat. This is the most important thing. You start your career. It's a career builder airplane. Second of all, as a narrow body pilot, it's always easier to find a job compared to wide body. Because guys, when you start your career, it's almost impossible to find a job as a wide body pilot with 0 flight hours. This is really difficult. Sometimes there's high demand to pilots, sometimes there's low demands. But when we are on high demand era like this right now, after recovering COVID, companies are looking for the pilots. So therefore, it's fairly easier than finding a job than wide body. So if you're a wide body pilot, you have an option to find a job really easy. If you are flying narrow body, it's relatively easier to get an upgrade course for you guys. What I'm trying to say, you can be a captain in narrow body fairly faster than the wide body. So basically, the rule is very simple. If you have ATPL or FAA ATP, and if you have logged more than 1,500 hours, and if you are about 21 years old, then you can be a captain. I know some European low-cost airlines, they upgrade you when you have 2,000 hours. So there are some low-cost in Turkey, you can be upgraded at 3,000 hours. And of course, like Turkish Airlines around 4,500 hours. But if we are talking about the wide-body experience, guys, it starts from 6,000 to 7,000 hours. If you don't have 6,000 to 7,000 hours, then you should forget about it, okay? You cannot get any upgrade. This is the average time we are talking about. Number 4 is you might have a chance to choose where you live. Let's think about it. There are way more narrow body airplanes than the wide body ones. This is like, I don't know the exact numbers, but narrow body is way more than the wide body. So in a day, it means that there are a lot of narrow body airplanes flying. Recently, the aviation works like this. You are collecting all passengers and bringing to the hub. From hub, those passengers are transported all around the world. So basically, most of the big airlines, large airlines, they have multiple bases in Europe, in the US, or other countries like Canada, Australia. So basically, you can choose where you want to live if you are flying narrow body fairly easier than the wide body, because if you are working for a wide body, so most of the time you are flying from a certain destination. Those hubs are determined already. So if a company, if they have 10 bases, maybe 2 or 3 of them they operate only wide bodies, but the rest 10 bases you can find narrow bodies. That can increase your chance where you would like to live, and it's fairly better. You can go home more often than a wide body because you can have turnarounds. If you're flying narrow body, you can choose your base and you can stay at home longer if you're flying narrow body. The last but not least, number 5, the future is narrow body. Yes, guys, the future is narrow body. Nowadays, world is changing. There are not gonna be hub spoke mentality anymore in the future. People wants to fly point to point. They want to fly, skipping the big hubs like Istanbul, like Dubai, like London. People wants to fly from point A to point B. So the future will be like, A321 XLR. You can fly it from point A to point B, skipping the hub by any destination in the world, like 6-7 hours. Basically, people wants to pay less money, and that will help the airlines reduce the cost. That was the thing, guys. These were the 5 advantages of flying narrow body. Would you like to hear the disadvantages? All right, let's continue. The first and the most important disadvantages is fairly tiring, guys. It's very self-explanatory. You are flying a lot. You are like navigating A to B, B to C, C to D. You are always on the move if you are flying narrow body, because airlines are trying to maximize your duty times and maximize their profit, minimize their pilot necessity. Therefore, it's very tiring. Right. Second disadvantages, guys, is fairly inefficient way of flying with a narrow body. I will try to explain what I'm trying to say. Unless you're protected by a union or a company, normally we are getting paid by flying hours. And flying hours doesn't mean duty hours. Let me give you an example. If you are from Istanbul and you're based in Istanbul and you're flying to Sofia, it's very short flight, right? Like 30-45 minutes, let's put 45 minutes flight. And after this flight, you are coming back, but you need to stop in Sofia as well. And thereafter, when you come back to Istanbul, you wait another 2-3 hours. Then from Istanbul, you fly to Ankara and come back. In a day, you can spend 12 hours, like up to 12 hours. Definitely more than 10 hours and less than 12 hours, let's put that way. And out of these 10 hours, you only fly 4 hours, maybe less than 4 hours. So basically you spend whole day, but you are getting paid only 4 hours. Do you understand now what I'm trying to say? You spend all day, but you get paid for only 4 hours. This is really inefficient way of flying. In wide body, if you have 10 hours duty, most probably you are logging 8 hours out of these 10 hours, so you get paid 8 hours. You can maximize efficiency while flying wide body. However, when you're flying narrow body, you don't have this. But if you're flying in US, there is something called RIC. So you can somehow get more flying hours payment rather while you're flying less. Those kind of things are coming with union rules. Basically, you can fly 4 hours depending on day, night, base, what you are doing. You can get paid up to 8 hours. They save your time and your effort, and it also helps you improve your efficiency. But unfortunately, most of the part of the world, you don't have this efficiency. So while flying narrow body, you are very inefficient when it comes to take the payment. Number 2 leads us number 3. You need to fly at least 75-80 hours for a company to count you as an efficient pilot. Therefore, you fly a way more than wide-body pilot to collect 80 hours in a month. That gives you more working days and less day off. So we can say number 3, you will work more, but you will get less day off. Number 4, shorter layovers. Yeah, most of the time a company flies a destination multiple times if the destination is shorter and the company is big enough. So for instance, I was in Turkish Airlines. We were used to fly from Istanbul to Frankfurt. There used to be 5 flights, and from Istanbul to Izmir there used to be like more than 7-8 flights. So since there are lots of flights, you don't have a 24 hours layover. Most of the time, in order to maximize, as I told you before, they keep you stayed in the hotel like around 10 hours to 14 hours. So they don't want you to stay in the hotel 24 hours, so they can reuse you for another flight. So if they crop the layover time, rather than having 1,000 pilots, they can do the same job with 850 pilots, let's put that way. That's why if you're a narrow body pilot, expect some short layovers. Last item that I would like to mention, do not forget, we are comparing narrow body airplane flying and wide body airplane flying. So narrow body, unfortunately guys, a little bit non-luxurious, let's put that way. It's more tiring. Airplane designed in a way that you can, make a turnaround in a shorter way, less time, Therefore, you cannot find luxury there. And you get tired a lot. Airplanes, they're compared to wide body, not that comfortable. I'm talking about the cockpit. It takes more noise from outside, and also you experience high level of engine noise. It's making you more tired at the end of the day. Whereas while you are flying wide body, guys, it's more smooth, easy to fly this airplane, more quiet. So everything is like you have proper seat. The seats are inclining way better. Even material you can see there is way better. So narrow body is like more or less like, okay, we are gonna produce cheap airplane. So they're cropping some stuff from the luxury there. Do not get me wrong, it's still nice. I'm just comparing these two. But unfortunately, what airplane you're trying to compare, if you take a, same family, Airbus or Boeing, take a narrow body and a wide body is always designed way better than the narrow body. You can have a look at 73, 777, 73, 78, 73, 74. So you could see the differences. Alright, now let's talk about wide body. Guys, wide body is a place where you enjoy your life. Yes, narrow body is a place where you learn how to fly, but wide body is a place where you enjoy your life. That's simple. Now, I'm gonna start with the advantages of flying wide body. First things comes first, right? The money. Yes, we are gonna talk about money, guys. No doubt, if you are flying wide body, most of the time you get paid way better than the narrow body. That's what I'm earning right now. I can compare what I used to make and what I'm making now. Wide body is way better than the narrow body, because wide body is not a transition, it's upgrade in your lifestyle. If you are coming from a company which is unionized, it's like a step, for flag carriers. You are a FO, then you're captain narrow body, then you're a FO on wide body, then you're a captain narrow body. Or if you are a FO on narrow body, then captain narrow body, and then you're a captain on wide body. So this transition, wide body is not there, always here. So therefore, it's like, your salary needs to increase. Your salary is also increasing exponentially when you gain the experience in the company. Maybe exponentially is too optimistic, but it's increasing. At the end of the day, long story short, if you're a wide body pilot, you make more money. Now let's talk about the second item. Not only you earn more, but also you have many days off. Yes, guys, the ultimate thing in an airline, they are trying to, maximize your flying hours. But if you're flying narrow body, as I mentioned earlier, you fly a lot to collect ADRs because your legs are shorter. But if you are flying wide body, you are flying long distances. So basically, let's put in a way that if your company's threshold is 80 hours to get the productivity pay, like extra payment, whatever you call it. So you can literally have 80 hours with 3 flights. So you can have 3 flights in a month that can lead you to have 15 to 20 days off in your home. That's a great opportunity. Whereas if you're flying narrow body, it's a dream to have 20 days off. So it's very efficient to fly 777, 350, 78, 74 or 330. Also, it depends what kind of operation you are making, but I'm making a generalization. So in general, if you're flying wide body, it's more efficient and you have more days off than the narrow body flying. If you are efficient in your life, it means that you have time to do many things. That brings us item number 3, better lifestyle. Of course, guys, if you have 15 days off in a month, you can have spare time for yourself, for your hobbies, you can travel around the world, you can record YouTube videos for your YouTube channel, these kind of attractions you can make. But if you're flying narrow body, this is a dream, guys. You're flying 22, 23 days in a month and you only have 7-8 days off, and during these days off most probably you are dead, you don't want to do anything else. Yeah, wide body makes your life way better, your lifestyle is better, you earn more, and also you have time to spend this money in your life. You can invest for yourself, you can invest anything, you can have hobbies. Most of the pilots that I have known in US, since they have a really nice lifestyle, they have 15, 14 days off in a month, most of them they do the second job. This is how it is, guys. It's way better lifestyle. Item number 4 is very comfortable airplane. It's easy to fly, it's really quiet. If I ask a question, most probably you will say that flying wide body is more difficult than flying narrow body. But this is not the truth. Whoever says to me flying 777 is more difficult than the 73, I will strongly disagree with him or her. Flying 73 is more difficult than flying 777. 777 is clean design, very easy to fly, easy to handle, characteristic-wise it's not affected by the wind a lot, and you are flying less and you are taking less risks. That leads us to the next item. But before going there, as I told you, it's super optimized for flying and super nice to fly, so it's very easy and it makes the airplane very comfortable to fly. Apart from that, noise wise, comfortable wise, where you sit, what you do, at the end of the day you don't feel tired if you fly 3 hours and come back. But if you do the same with 73, you feel way tired. So this is the difference I'm trying to explain. The last but not least, it is not stressful at all. Easy to fly, as I told you, and you are making less takeoff and landing compared to narrow body. Naturally, you are taking less risks. So you finish a month, 5 flying, let's put that way. And which one is more stressful and more risky, to fly 50 times in a month or fly 10 times a month? So basically, you are reducing your stress level. But do not get me wrong, I'm not mentioning by saying stress, it's like flying, am I gonna land? I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about in general, everything like, going airport, dealing with the people, dealing with the non-normals, dealing with the bad weathers. If you fly a lot, the probability of getting bad weather is way higher than comparing twice a month flight. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? So if you fly less, naturally you take less risks and you maximize your lifestyle. This is really good. That was the last thing. Now we are gonna talk about the disadvantages of flying wide body. Okay, let's talk about the first disadvantages. It's not that easy to get a seat in a wide body airplane because you need prior knowledge, prior flying experience, It's like after flying a couple of years, if you are lucky, you can get a seat. Normally, if you fly and finish your flight training, you get your CPL, then first officer on narrow body. If you are lucky, if your company upgrades you, then wide body as a first officer, then captain as a narrow body. Then you come a point that you are forever on wide body, the time frame that you fly for this company. So it takes some time. We are talking about maybe, if you are lucky, a couple of years, but some, in rare case, it can go to 15 to 20 years. Imagine if you are in the US, you get your pilot license, then you need to fly 1500 hours to gain some experience. Then you go as a first officer in regional, then captain on regional, then first officer on legacy, then captain on the legacy, and then as a captain you can upgrade yourself the wide body captain. It's a very long time frame we are talking about. So all those advantages that I described previously is not easy to get. Upgrade on wide body can take forever, guys. This is somehow correlated with the First disadvantages from beginning of your career to wide body captain, maybe it can take easily 20 years. I'm not kidding. If you are not flying a company for like all wide body airplane like I do, then it can take forever. Like if you are in United States, I can assure you that it will take at least 20 years to be a captain on 777 or 787 since the day first of your career, because being a captain on legacy wide body is very long journey. You need to be again first officer captain and then captain. It's not an easy transition. If you are flying these, European airlines where unionized, still we are talking maybe 30, 35 plus years, like Turkish Airlines as well. You need to be flying at least 6 years, then thereafter you need to be a captain, then another at least right now 10 years before upgrade a wide body captain. Now we are talking about at least 20 years time frame. And do not forget, Turkish Airlines is expanding like hell right now, and they are expanding means that they are hiring pilot, but it will come a point that it will stop. So they're not gonna upgrade the captains to the wide body position that easily. So the time frame will go higher and higher and higher. That being said, let's continue with item number 3. I told you, right? It's really easy to fly this airplane, but I cannot say the same when you are on the ground. If you are taxiing, and especially if you are on the ground, this is the most dangerous part of flying. Because guys, it's huge airplanes we are talking about, the wide bodies. So you cannot take each taxiways, you cannot take each runway. So basically, you need to be careful. You need to study charts, you need to have a look at the AOI pages, you need to have a look at everything while you're on the ground. If you turn onto wrong runway or wrong taxiway, you can damage your airplane, other airplanes, taxi surfaces, runway surfaces. You need to be extremely cautious while you are taxiing on wide body. And when you are flying narrow body, I can talk about my case. We don't even have tiller on the right side, F4 so you cannot learn how to taxi with 737. But I came here on 777, then I started taxiing. And 777 is not the best airplane to start your taxiing in your career. You're trying to understand what I'm trying to say, right? It's huge airplane. You need to think of inertia. You need to learn how to overshoot. Basically, you pass a point, then you initiate your turn. But you feel like you are taxiing too much, so you cannot turn. For instance, if you are on 45 meters with runway, you need to overshoot. But sometimes you feel like I'm outside of the runway. This is how you need to learn taxiing with a wide body. It's not easy, and all the problems, I would say 70-75% happens all the time on the ground. Do not forget about it. It's not very easy to taxi. All right, item number 4 is jet lag. When you fly longer distances, the time differences between point A and point B kills the people. That's for sure. There's no way to escape from it. Recently, I just arrived from Miami, and I didn't know what happened to me for the last 2 days. I was in Dubai time, then in Miami time, then I came to home again in Dubai time. It's all mixed. I slept 13 hours when I woke up. Still, I didn't feel like it's enough for me. So it's like your body clock is just mixing with other location time frames. So it's really hard, and it's really hard to get off from this jet lag effect. This happens to everyone, regardless of gender, age, company, whatever. This is how it is. So especially once you are aging, it's even more and more difficult. But guess what? You are gonna be a captain most of the time when you're 45 to 50 plus in a wide body. I'm generalizing it. There are of course captains 30 years old in a wide body airplane, but let's put that way, if you have a look at the wide body captains, they are more often 45 plus. So they are more prone to get this kind of things. If you are young, your body recovers faster, but if you are old or old enough, your body starts recovering slowly than a young guy. This is how it is, and it's gonna be challenging for each pilot if you are especially flying wide body. The last disadvantage that I would like to talk is you are away from home more than the narrow body airplane. Yeah, this is how it is. This is the nature. If you are flying narrow body, if you are based and if you are protected, if you can choose your own roster, if you can bid for it, you can minimize your time away from home. You can have all turnarounds and you can go home. Literally, you can be at home 25 days at the like out of 30 days. But if you're flying wide body, there is no such a way, guys. Okay, let me give you my last flight example. I took off from Dubai to Miami, then we stayed there 56 hours, and from Miami to Dubai we came back. I was away from home for 4 days. There are even some flights that you are doing freighter trips. It's like, you know, you are traveling around the world, you are away from the home for 7 days. So basically, by nature, if you're flying wide body, you are away from home more than narrow body. So it's also a disadvantage. I don't want to travel all around the world when I am, let's put 55 years old. You are already away from home for the most of your life. There are some point that you need to stay at home, you enjoy your kids growing, you know, catching their important moments. But if you're a wide body pilot, sometimes it's extremely difficult to catch up. That being said, that concludes advantages and disadvantages of flying a wide body. Alright guys, that concludes our video for today. But before going, I would like to tell what I choose personally, and then I will ask you. For me guys, personally, life of quality is the most important thing, to be honest, and wide body flying gives me the best option up to now. All I need, time off. I love flying, I really love it a lot, but at the same time I like to do many things, and I'm doing many things in my life, and it was always like this. So for me the most important thing, days off, and I can get many days off while flying wide body, so that suits me very well. But I don't mind to fly narrow body. If I have 15 days off, to be honest, I don't care if I'm flying narrow body or wide body. That's my choice, of course. Everyone has different opinion about it. Now it's your turn. What do you think about it? Would you like to fly wide body or would you like to fly narrow body? I want to hear from you. I will read each of your comments. Please go ahead, send your comments. And if you have any question regarding this video, and if I skip anything, please go ahead and drop a comment down to me. That being said, before going, as usual, please do not forget to subscribe my channel, like my videos, and hit the bell button to get the notifications once I upload a new video. Thank you for watching me. See you in the next video. Bye bye.